Hello, my name is Richie Arlano. I'm part of Starlight Dreamers, and this is my final sprint review on our game, Rise of the Treasure Hunter. We are currently working off our final build, which is part of change list 868856. So let's go into the build right here and click into it. So we're going to hit the play button, and this should bring us into the first level, which is the tutorial level, and also the level select level, which is the one I created. So first thing, we added some sound, so you can hear in the background a little bit is the wind. The wind goes throughout the whole level to kind of give a background ambiance. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to go over into this interact sign right here and press E. This is where we added an option for the player to do a tutorial level where they wanted to or not. If they'd like to, they can hit yes, which would bring them to the start point. If they would not like to, they can hit no, and what that does is just bring them back to this location where they can level select. So let's go interact with this, hit yes, and go over to the tutorial level. So welcome to the tutorial part of this level. So the player has a selected path that we're using. We updated, of course, the assets that the artist has given us. We've given some nicer trees, some nicer signs. We worked on a more realistic ground level, so it's more stone. Then the player can go up to the first sign, and on the right it says basically the basic movements, which of course is move forward, backwards, left, right, and to move with the camera. So now we see that we can follow to the next sign over here, and this tells the player that now they can hold and shift to run. So these are some of the basic things that we added. What I added more of is now we can teach the player how to crouch, and that can be done with Control C or Control or C. So C, you can crouch, or hit the Control and you can crouch. We gave the player a demonstration, so if they want to go through here, they notice at a certain point they can't go any further. So they see they're crouching, and then they get up and they're back to standing. Another one that we had is jump, which is from previous ones. I'm using one of the assets that the artist gave us to teach how to jump over. So if they come back and do a running jump, they can get over the log and go to the other side. We also wanted to teach the player about dangerous aspects of our game, some of the dangers they're going to run into. So we decided to add in some of the dangers into the game. So this teaches the player about spikes that could be in the ground, walls, or ceiling. They can tell by the certain colors, kind of like a blackish red steel, again, some of the assets the artist gave us. And if they run into a spot that triggers, they'll hear a sound. And that sound pretty much allows the spikes to come up, and if the player's within that, they'll get hit and take damage. So we can walk through there safely. This is another area that the player is going to learn about some of the dangers they're going to run into. Some of them could be like falling boulders, crumbling floors. It's basically certain areas that are fragile that could have the player have to dodge to survive. So there's a new aspect I was working on this round of the sprint. So if we cross over here, we hear a cracking sound like, oh, what's coming? And then all of a sudden we'll see boulders start to come down, and you'll hear that sound of them start to crumble. If the player starts to go away, that sound is now not constant. It's more faint and in the background, and you still see the player shake a little bit as the camera shake is going on every time a boulder is destroyed. So let's go past this so we don't get hurt. Over here, the player's going to learn about climbing. So again, we had something that showed what the player is going to see was kind of a specific wall. So this is going to teach them more of looking at climbable surfaces that are a little bit different, and to kind of look out for those, and that when you're on that climbing wall, you use a specific motion to go up and down. So when they jump and climb, now they know they can go up, down, left, and right. So we get to the top, climb up, and now we have another sign over here. Press E to interact. This object, to this sign, is your health herbs. So pretty much, if you take damage and hit H, you're going to basically get healed if you have damage. If you don't have damage and you try and hit it, it says on the bottom you're at max health. We also updated the image on the bottom right, so now it shows a little herb and the number of herbs you have. So we're going to come down, we can't go back, pretty much this is like our cutoff for the tutorial. We'll see over here, another sign. Some areas will be hazardous. So this area is a new area, shows the player that in some areas they might slowly lose health the longer they stay in there. And that's what the health herbs are for, to help them heal if they stay in there too long. So get in, get out, or manage your health with the herbs. So if we go through here slowly, you notice the player starting to slowly tick down in damage, and then once we're out of the danger zone, pretty much we're good to go. We heal up with the herbs. If we use too many, you're already at max health, so we're good to go. Then we basically have another new asset, which is something the artist gave, which is a little bit better visuals of a campfire. It's pretty nice, and we kept the old flames because they still look good. We just updated the asset and the way it looks. We did update and give a nicer, greener color to our NPC, the one and only NPC we use in the game. He's the one who basically teaches the player how to shoot an arrow, or how to equip the bow and shoot an arrow. So if we hit yes or no, or of course, something a little silly, of course I know how to shoot an arrow, no matter which option you choose, he'll still go over just as a reminder. So we'll click yes for this round. Oh, okay, I guess we can't click yes, that's a little bug, so we'll click of course. And you'll still say press 1, you can draw on bow, so it's ready to shoot. And then, left click, right click mouse to aim your bow, and then left click to shoot it. So no matter what you choose, pretty much it's going to be the same event. So we'll come over here, interact, grab the bow, grab some of the arrows, equip with 1. It'll show you a little sign on the bottom left that shows, oh look, I have a bow. We'll zoom in and we'll fire. Boom. And then unequip, and that goes there. So now we'll go to the next sign. Press E. Time to learn how to swim. This is new. This is something I added to teach a player how they're going to deal with swimming levels. That they're going to basically be interacting with an oxygen level, where they have to manage their oxygen and use air pockets to make sure that they don't lose oxygen and that they don't lose health. So let's go over here and swim. We're going to jump into this nice looking water. Boom, they're in, and as you can see, there's oxygen to the right that shows up. If they go above, they'll notice that the oxygen raises up. Boom, and we're back to a full oxygen bar. So let's go over here and come into this area. So again, this is another new area or new lesson that I'm teaching the player. Pretty much is teaching them how to use the pickaxe that they're going to be using at a specific level. They'll come over here, they can press to grab it, now they have the pickaxe on. And another sign that says some walls can be taken down with the climbing pick. It's telling you what to press to activate it and where to use it. If you don't have the pickaxe equipped, pretty much you will not be able to break this. So if I press 2 to equip, again the sign on the bottom left says check, yes you have it, and you press E to break it, and the wall is broken. Yay! Alright, and then we'll press 2 to unequip it, and you're back to the level select. So if you wanted to do the tutorial over again, you could with this sign. This sign over here pretty much teaches you what to expect in each level. You can enter any gate for any level and start there, but if you want to do every level in pretty much in sequence, you can hit this gate in front of you. So pretty much it shows you that these are a different color and that the significance of the main story is the sapphire blue, which is the color of the treasure, which is the sapphire. So the next level we're going to go to is pretty much the other other level I worked on, which is the timed puzzle level. This is kind of like an extra addition of giving the player like signals and sounds. Some of the sounds you already heard from the tutorial level, but we'll hear them further when we go into the time puzzle. So let's go in there. So as you can see, some of the assets have been updated, the signs, the walls and the floors to kind of give it more of a kind of like an old temple, wood, stone type building that's from modern times, but we're in the future. If the player comes in, they'll see pretty much, let me just go back in. Let me go back, and then we'll go back in. Alright, go to the time puzzle, so come in here, and if we go a little forward, there we go. Looks like there are clues on the wall, so they'll see clues on the right, little clues on the wall, and then they'll see something to the left that's kind of lit up, like, oh, what's over there? So if we go over to this sign over here, and click on it, this is pretty much the turn dials that were in previous versions. Now we just have an updated sign to show them. The clues over here. Each clue tells them a number in a certain sequence, so the numbers pretty much will end up being Sorry, 5, 10, 15. I'm sorry, the sign is a little closer than I want it to be. 50, there we go. And then 20. Oh, 20. So this should open the door here for let the player through. So as soon as the player crosses this, instead of a 4-minute time, they'll have a 3-minute time. We also include the sound where you heard before that signifies that there's something cracking and creaking, like the boulders are going to fall. The spikes will be in here, which the players learn from the tutorial level, what they look like, what the sound is. Do you see health hurt? So everything that they've learned in the tutorial level, it's going to be expanded on in this area here. So let's cross here. You'll see that 3 minutes right there, a little cracking sound, right off those falling boulders into spikes. And there we go. Oh, look, there's one of the floors. Oh my goodness. So come over here, let's grab the south. Oh, I see the spikes over here. What's going to happen? Oh, okay, maybe I shouldn't go over there right now. You see the floor starting to break. So let's go over here. You hear the boulders crawling or falling. Oh, I almost got hit by one. You see the, oh, watch out for the spikes. I got hit by one. It's okay. And as you get further away, you hear the boulders stop from falling. So in this iteration, I'm going to show you one of the scenes I worked on, one of the visual scenes, widgets I worked on that shows you when the time runs out, the player will know. And then the next time around, we're going to see what it's like to get lose your health from a spike. It's a little harder to get hit from the boulders because the boulders are random, but there is a widget that shows that when you do get lose your health by the boulders, a widget will come up for that too. So right now we're just going to do here, we're going to run through and let the time run out. But I want you to hear all the sounds every time you go through a certain area of boulders, certain area of spikes, all the sounds we added to kind of signify that the player is in some kind of dangerous area. So here again, you hear the crack, that means there's boulders up ahead. Oh, I already know these are spikes, let's try and run through without getting hit, and we did. We learned, and we look crumbling floors, so we almost get hit by one of the boulders again. So we know this is a climbing wall, we learned from the tutorial. We got a lot of boulders around here, a lot of crumbling floors, so we're going to run and jump. And then we'll hit here. Looks like there are maybe 2 others in this area, better have a look around. So if you come up here and you interact with this, pretty much you see, oh, look, there is something here where if I interact with it, oh, okay, so there must be another 2 objects in this area somewhere. So let's go over here and jump. Okay, and then go over here and here. And then as you know, the boulders have stopped, pretty much stopped from crumbling, so the craziness has subsided, which is good. So let's come over here. There must be something over here. And the sounds have stopped for the boulders. So we see, oh, all right, well, these spikes are already been activated, but I got to make it over there. So let's jump. Okay, press E. Okay, good, I got all 3. Okay, crouch. I got about 40 seconds to make it. All right, so come over here. Oh, we know this one's going to go over here. And this one will go here, and the door should open. And that's pretty much the end of this level, and some of the things I added, whether it's sounds or the way the visuals look. It's still a little dark, but a little bit brighter than before. That's because of the assets that we've been used from the artist, which we're grateful for. So what I'm going to show right now is, of course, is what happens when you run out of time. And that visual that gives the player notification that you ran out of time and that you have to start back over at the beginning if you can't do it. I know the level, but I feel like 3 minutes is good enough time for someone who's still learning the level. And we'll see right now, pretty much time has run out. And then from there, it's a little bit of a pause, and you should go right back to the beginning. Everything's starting over, door closed, and you'll start back at the beginning of the level. So before I conclude, I want to show 2 other things that I added, 2 death scenes pretty much to show that the character has died or lost all their health from a specific object. 2 of them added, one is spikes and one is boulders. So right now we're going to show spikes, and then we'll try and show boulders. I know boulders are very random, so it's going to be a little difficult, but I'm sure we can do it. Oh, that's 20, not 15. Okay. Come on. Here we go. Open up. Alright, so let's go over the spikes. Get hit by this. You know what, let's go over the ones that have a lot of spikes. That's probably easier. Watch out for the boulders. You know what we can do? I know, we'll go over by the hallway. And we'll just get hit by spikes as we go. There we go. Get hit by these spikes over here. Yeah, okay, go over here. It's always the hallway one that gets me the most in my game, which is fine. I mean, I didn't want to make it too easy for the players. There we go. Okay, good, good. Let's try that again. Good, good. And there you go. You got spiked. So that signifies that you basically got killed by the spikes, but the time is still going. So you have full health, but you still have to make it to the end, even though the time is still going. So let's go hit by the spikes, and then we'll get hit by the boulders. So the floor is still gone. You know, we still got the spikes out here, still dangerous. The boulders are still going. You're still shaking the screen. So let's just get hit by the spikes a little bit, and then we'll see how it's like to get the falling boulders. Yep, boom. Good, good. Okay. Let's see if the boulders can hit us enough to... If we just stand in one area, maybe. Come on, boulders. You can do it. There you go. Hit me. Now, you know what? Let's just go back to the spikes a little bit. And what we'll do is try and get hit enough. Come on. Oh, okay. Okay. Let's try to get it again. Okay, good. Alright, so we'll come over here. And the bullets should be falling over here. They are. So we can hit by one. Oh no, these are just going to fall in there. Hold on. Oh, I know what to do. Let's go through here and we'll respawn back over here. Look at that. Okay, now let's get hit. Come on, boulders. Oh, almost hit me. Oh, of course, one lands right where I was. Alright, let's activate him again. Come on. Just need to hit it once. Okay, so so we'll just stand right here. Usually it's random, but if I stand in a specific location, usually it comes back to that location. So hopefully we can get across the finish, or we're just going to run out of time, which is also fine. But there is a widget for when you get hit by bullets enough and lose your health that it basically says you got flattened. And we'll just run out of time. Basically it'll say time has run out, and that's my game. That's my 2 levels I worked on. Those are some of the things I added to give more of a leeway for the players, more interaction with the players, more sounds, messages to let them know maybe they'll run out of time or their health is at 0 and they start over. And those are all the things I worked on for my task. We added sound to each of the levels where it was like an ambient wind, or jumping or pulling up, things of that nature. And we've added some of the assets the artists have worked for, so we thank them as much. But that's my level. My name is Richie Arlano, and I thank you for viewing.